Hello everyone, welcome to this video. In this video, we'll talk about the methods that you can use to manipulate strings. These are built-in methods that will help us to transform our strings in a certain way. We will cover the most often used method, starting with the upper and the lower method. We can use the upper method to convert our string values to uppercase, and the lower method to convert our string values to lowercase. Let's say we had hello world string. If you want to convert these strings to uppercase, we'll use dot upper, and we will prefix our method using the dot. If we store this in a variable, maybe a, and print variable a onto the screen, it will return our transformed hello world string to uppercase. You can also use the lower method. Run our file again. It will also return our hello world transformed to lowercase letters. We can also use other methods. For example, as soon as we press dot, you will have so many methods that you can use on these strings. So let's use capitalize method. What capitalize does is that it converts the first letter in a string to uppercase and the rest will be in lowercase. Let's run our file. So it has converted the first letter in the string hello world to uppercase and the rest is in lowercase. We also have the strip method that will help us to remove any spaces from our string. Let's say we had spaces at the end and at the beginning of our string hello world. If we run our file again, we are going to print spaces at the end at the beginning of our hello world. If you want to remove any spaces that's contained within a string, we will use the strip method. So if you use strip, run our file again, it's going to print our hello world string without the spaces. So we remove any spaces, any tabs using the .strip method. If we wanted to remove white space only at the right of our string, we will use rstrip. This rstrip will remove any white space at the right of our string. If we run our file, it's going to remove white spaces from the right side of our string. You may not see it because it's the end, but if you use lstrip, it's going to remove any white space at the left of our string. If you run our file, it will return our hello world starting at the margin or at the beginning of our string. There are some methods that you can use to check whether our string is in uppercase or in lowercase. If we first remove the white space from our string and check whether our string is in lowercase using .slower method, and this method will return true if our string is in lowercase, otherwise it will return false. And now it's returning false because our string contains uppercase characters. Let's convert them into lowercase. So right now our string is in all lowercase, and if we run our file again, it's going to return true. We also have .isUpper, and this .isUpper returns boolean also, and it checks whether our string is in uppercase or in lowercase. If we run our file, it will return false because our string is in all lowercase. Let's first convert our string to uppercase. Hello world. If you run our file again, this time it's going to return true because our string is in all lowercase. We also have the .isUnlam method. .isUnlam method returns true if the string consists of only letters and numbers. Let's say we had a string that contains only letters and numbers, for example Ali 23. When we confirmed using the .isUnlam method, and this method will return true if a string consists of only letters and numbers. And it has returned true because our string consists of Ali, which are letters, and 23, which are numbers. Let's say we had something else in our string, like a $sign or an hash. If we run our file again, it's going to return false. So you can use it to validate if a string contains only letters and numbers. We also have the title method. The title method returns true if a string consists of only words that begin with an uppercase letter. Let's say, for example, we had a sentence that says, "This is a title," and you can check whether this string is a title using the title method. So this title method will return true if every word in our string begins with a capital letter. If you run our file, it has returned false because a word in our string begins with a small letter, and if we change that to a capital letter, run our file again, it's going to return true. And you can use this title method to validate whether every word in a string starts with a capital letter. For example, if you have a list of strings, you can check them if those names start with a capital letter. We also have the .numeric method, and this .numeric method will return true if a string consists of only numeric characters or numbers. Let's say, for example, we had a string that contains only numbers, just random numbers, and check whether this string contains only numbers using the .numeric method. This method will return true if the string contains only numeric characters or numbers. If we run our file, it has returned true. Let's say we had a special character like dollar within our string that's not a number. If you run our file again, it's going to return false. So you can validate any string using this .numeric character whether that string contains only numbers or something else.